Welcome to the Conservation Cast, provided by the Pike County Conservation District. I'm your host, Devin George, Communications Coordinator with the Conservation District. Thank you all so much for listening. With Rachel Posovitz, our watershed specialist, in our last episode, we discussed watersheds and our place in them. In this episode, we're going to be talking about things you can do in your own backyard to maintain and improve water quality in your watershed. My guest today is Marianna Quartararo, a resource conservationist here at the district. Hi, Marianna.
Hello.
So, can you start by telling us, what does a resource conservationist do?
Very good question. We provide assistance for the regulated community in permitting and technical issues in construction, forestry, hydrology, stormwater, soils, and other related areas.
So you live in Pike County, right?
Yes.
What is your favorite thing to do outside in Pike County?
To work outside my gardens with my dogs.
Oh, that's a good thing to do. Not right now, but You're here today to teach us about 3 things that we can do in our own backyards that are good for our water, right?
Yes.
Very cool. All right, what is the first thing?
Rain gardens.
I love a garden. What's a rain garden?
Well, a rain garden is an area that infiltrates small volumes of stormwater or runoff that may come from your roof or a sidewalk or your downspouts. It's sized for the volume of water that will flow to it, and that could be coming from a driveway or sidewalk or other areas that have runoff, stormwater runoff.
Cool, so you could have multiple rain gardens on one piece of property.
Yep.
Very cool. I love having lots of gardens. Yeah. Lots is always better than none. So how does a rain garden work?
Well, it works by you're going to direct that runoff water to the area, and it infiltrates the water that comes there within a short period of time, usually within 24 hours.
Can you remind us again what infiltration is?
Water percolating through the soil, actually going into your groundwater, or just naturally going through the ground.
Rachel taught us a little bit about groundwater.
Okay.
Very nice. So I have a garden at home. It's not a rain garden. It's just a regular vegetable garden. What is better about a rain garden than a regular garden?
Well, like I said, it manages the stormwater. It recharges your groundwater. It helps improve the water quality by filtering out sediment and other pollutants.
I want to plant a rain garden now. I want a rain garden in addition to my vegetable garden. So where do I start? What kind of decisions do I have to make?
Well, first you're going to decide on how much water is coming off the area that is going to be taking the water. So if it's from your roof or from a sidewalk or what have you have to calculate the area and rainfall, figure out how much, because that's going to determine the size of the rain garden, which is very important. You don't want to make it too small, because then that defeats the purpose. So after you figure that out, you're going to kind of watch where the water might normally flow from these areas and utilize that area for your garden. That's always the best, rather than trying to tell water where to go.
Right. Water's not so good at taking directions.
No, no. It does what it wants, as we all know. You're going to want it about 10 feet away from your house, because you don't want water to be up against your foundation and impact that. It should be in full apart sun, and you don't want to put it over your septic field. That would not be good. Okay, so you're going to locate it about 10 feet away from your house. It should be in full apart sun, and it should not be over your septic field or anywhere near that. And it should be able to drain within 12 to 24 hours.
Is there a way to check that it's drained?
Okay, so you don't want to put it in an area that normally stays wet, because that area is not going to drain. So how you construct your rain garden will help with the ability for it to drain well. So you're going to put it to an area that normally water may flow there, and you don't see it ponding or staying wet all the time. So that could be a rough idea.
So pay attention to your land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about plants to put in my garden? What kind of plants should I put in it?
Plants. This is my favorite part. You could put plants. You want plants that can take some standing water for short periods of time and also withstand dry periods, because it doesn't rain all the time. So we usually use a mix of native plants, of shrubs and perennials, and you could match it to the gardens you have that are existing, make it very pleasing to look at. It shouldn't be an eyesore. It should be something that's aesthetically pleasing. I've used things like elderberry and blueberry, viburnum, Joe Pye weed, bee balm, black-eyed Susan, plants along those lines, iris, some of the irises. We don't recommend using invasives for obvious reasons, and also the natives are better for not only for the rain garden but also for our pollinator friends.
Yes, we always want to be kind to our pollinators when we're making the garden. What kind of invasives should they avoid? Do you have any examples?
Oh, some of the common ones would be things like barberry, burning bush, multiflora rose, or Japanese knotweed are some of the more common invasives that you want to avoid either planting or allowing to get into the rain garden.
Right, you always want to keep an eye on those invasives. That's why native plants are so much better.
Yes.
Yes. So if you want to learn more about rain gardens, we actually have a really handy brochure here at the Conservation District that you can pick up at our offices, all about planting your own rain garden. And now that it's January, it's the time to start planting, right, Marianna?
Oh, yes.
Your garden for the summer, now is the time. All right, so say I don't have a lot of space for a garden. Is there another option for what I can do for my watershed?
You could use a rain barrel.
What is a rain barrel?
It's just what it says. It's a barrel that collects rain.
We didn't make that name too hard, did we?
Usually you would place that under a downspout from your roof. They're usually sized 55 gallons or better. And it should be a food grade barrel. You don't want to use something that had other corrosives or other problems within the barrel. You could build one yourself. There are a lot of things online, and I think we also have a brochure on how to do that.
I think we do.
And
you can also pick up here at the Conservation District.
And there are also a lot of really nice barrels already made available at garden centers and Home Depot and things like that.
Yeah, here at the Conservation District, we even have some nice rain barrels that were painted for us by some students. So we actually have very pretty rain barrels, and you could have very pretty rain barrels too. So if I go online, will I be able to find instructions of how to build a rain barrel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like a good DIY project.
Yes. And
all right, so you said you had 3 options. What is our third option for conserving water?
that would be the vegetated swale, and that's a project we did here, replanted ours here. It's vegetated swale of bioswale is basically a U-shaped channel that takes, again, stormwater runoff, and it slows it down.
And is this a channel like in the street, or where is the channel?
It could be, some of them are along your front of your properties. Others, again, take runoff from your downspouts or other areas that have runoff like a driveway or what have you. And it collects the water and helps it infiltrate again. It also will slow it down and also remove pollutants and sediment as it goes through. The plants really help do that. It's also constructed with layers of gravel and good soil to plant in above that. That's very conducive to infiltration.
Yeah, we just had here at the Conservation District, yesterday was World Soil Day. It was very exciting. Celebrating our soil and all the good things that it does for us, including holding and filtering water when it recharges our groundwater.
Yes. Yeah.
So soil doesn't get enough credit. I feel like soil gets a bad rap, but soil's a really good guy here at the Conservation District. We like soil.
As long as we keep it out of the water.
Exactly, yes. As long as we care for it and treat it right. So if you wanted to come learn more about bioswales, we have one here on the property of the Conservation District. And we even have a beautiful sign that we got a local artist to paint, and it tells you all about bioswales, what they do, and what they're made of, so that you can possibly build one for yourself, which is what we're all about, creative solutions that everyone can use. So do you have any general tips on the topic of using things in your own backyard to conserve water in your watershed?
Okay, so that water you collected in your rain barrel, of course, can be used to water your garden or your lawn, or even clean your sidewalks if you have enough pressure to do so. You could also, at this time of year, don't put salt on your sidewalks, because that salt is a very pollutant that does not come out of the soil or water easily. So instead use grit or less corrosive things like calcium chloride or magnesium chloride. You could also, later in the year, be conscious of use of pesticides and fertilizers, because they could also get into the water if they're not used properly. Read and follow all label directions and apply as needed. Not more is not better. So just remember, prevention is always much easier than trying to clean up the effects of all these pollutants as they get into our water and soil.
So we learned a lot of things that we can do to help preserve our water quality in our watershed. And as we said earlier with Rachel, our watershed specialist, you should always be aware of where you are in your watershed and that you're connected to all the other people and animals and living things in your watershed. Right, Marianna?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all connected. We all live downstream.
That's right.
On the next episode, we'll be hearing about local ponds and lakes and how we here at the district can help you when you're building near a body of water, because it can get awfully complicated, as all of our resource conservationists know, right, Marianna?
Sometimes.
Oh, yes. Sometimes it can get very complicated. All right, you can find episodes of the Conservation Cast on iTunes and on our website, www.pikeconservation.org, where you can also find further information on today's topic and watersheds. Thank you, Marianna, for teaching us today.
Thank you all.
And thank you all for listening.